I'm Abdul. I'm the chair of Umunthu Funeral scheme. Thank you, Leeds Association, for inviting us today. It's an opportunity for us to present this excellent idea to Leeds team. Our mission is to reach all Malawians in the UK with this funeral scheme, as we feel this is for us and is for the community. No one owns it. Is for everyone who is a member and who will be a member. So we make sure that our colleagues have a dignified farewell if something happens, and also have the support if something happens at home for those people who are registered as beneficiaries. So mainly this is started as an initiative by a few people coming together and inviting others. We have been discussing about this scheme from, I think, May last year. March last year. So people coming just as 1, 2, 3, 4, then we end up being 17 in the team. So, and have a launch in September this year. So it was a well thought idea, which we had put strategies in place to make sure that everything is structured and is organized. So we want to treat every member equally. The treatment I get as a chair is the same treatment someone who joins the scheme today, the same. So there's no one being treated as an executive or a member. We all the same, and all the decisions made, they will be shared with the members, and will actually call meetings to discuss and then have a general consensus as a scheme. So it is registered as a limited company by guarantee, which means no one owns shares. It's owned by the group, as we are here today to present how the scheme works, how you can join, how you can claim, how you can support, how you can give your views and suggestions for this scheme to be perfect, effective for everyone. I will now pass you to Ruth to just say the vision of the scheme, and Ruth will pass to other members of the team we have here today. They will introduce themselves as they come in to share with you different areas of the scheme. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, you know me, I'm Ruth Ali, and I'm the Secretary or Director of Operations for the Umunthu Funeral Scheme. So, as we all know, death is inevitable. Everyone, every household, you know, some here and some in Malawi or where around the world. So actually the vision of the scheme is that we want to reach to as many Malawians as possible, because we notice that most of Malawians, when they die, we struggle with finances. We go on, what do we call this? GoFundMe and all that, but not everyone contributes, and we don't always get the money that, the amount of money that we would want to use. So the group came together just to work out an initiative that would work for everyone equally. I mean, without discriminating. So how the chairman has already said how the scheme works is that we treat each and every member equally. I'll give an example, like we have, thanks to the Leeds Malawi Association, we've got what we call the welfare team. In the team, the leadership worked so hard to bring about the welfare scheme, and we contribute when there's a death and all that. But the leadership cannot do anything about how much people can contribute. You find, for me, because people know me, they'll contribute a lot of money. But for somebody else, amene mwina mwakanthu sakumutani sakumudziwa, they are not familiar with or that or like that, they kuti amutani apasidwa zochepa. So this scheme, I think, just falls at the right time, because people will be given the money equally. There's nothing like oh, because I know this one, I will contribute 20 pounds. We all contribute the same thing. So the scheme mainly is to reach to as many Malawians as possible, so that we make sure that no one struggles with finances when there's a death or their death or the death of a loved one. So if like in case that I die today, it means that the scheme will look after me. The same money that they give to me, just like the chair said, they also give to anybody else that dies. So it will not be like, oh, who knows who? No, it will be like everybody gets the same amount of money and everybody contributes the same amount of money. So I think we can appreciate that this is a very good initiative, because we are in the diaspora here, and you know that death can come anytime, and we don't have savings. Some of us, like me, I don't have savings to say that this is for my funeral. That cannot happen. I mean, even if you keep the money, sometimes there are issues back home, then they ask you for the money and you give them the money, which means you can't have the money because, I mean, for your funeral. So this initiative, eventually, it will help us Malawians in diaspora to look after ourselves. I mean, because you're paying for it, to look after ourselves for in case we die in case we die. So I'll pass on to Edith, if you have got anything else to add.
Sorry, let me just, can you hear me? Okay, hi, yeah, I guess mine is just to emphasize the point that Ruth has highlighted in her presentation. Kuti cholinga cha skimu iyi ndikuti mmene timapangira kumudzi kuja zovuta zikachitika, munthu asamakhale pansi kumakhala kudandaula kuti nanga makobiri ndi atenga kuti, ndikayang'ane ngongole uku kapena ndipite ku GoFundMe. We just want to make sure kuti zovuta zikangochitika nthawi yomweyo mmene timapangira kumudzi muchete kuti tathandizana, m'bale wathu yemwe zamuchitikirayo ali at peace, knowing kuti everything has been taken care of. And we understand kuti being a new concept, it's not easy for us to kind of tick my checklist onso mungayembekezere ku organization yoti yangoyamba eti. Nde we really urge you kuti be very patient with us, be considerate. We are a listening organization. We want to make sure kuti our members are benefiting. Mena pangila emphasize the chair to ajeti. And cholinga chetu ndichote, when you join us as members, please, we want your feedback. Tell us where the gaps are. Where is it that you want us to improve? And what is it that we can do to make this scheme workable for you as our members? So all I can say at this point is we really encourage you guys to join us. I think we can only succeed in numbers. The more people join, the more successful the scheme will be. So if there's any questions, we are all here, or after the meeting, please feel free to reach out to any of us for any further clarification. Thank you very much.
Yeah, anybody else with a comment or something? Or any question at this point? Okay, so I'll pass on to Mtisunge, who will tell us about how the scheme works and all that. Mtisunge.
Okay, just 1 second.
You can share if you.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Right. Okay. Okay, can we see that?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Ine ndisunge mendalembera about jinanga, but John Ndisunge Gunde. Obviously, Malawi, I don't mind you call me Joanna. It's okay. Also, Mrs. Gadimba. So I've got 4 names. It's too long. I am part of. I was requested, I think, to join this group when it started, which I found very interesting because I am the chairlady of Daughters of Nyasa here in Coventry, and we lost quite a few of people here in Coventry, and each and every funeral was a totally different. The stress, one of the funerals was stress-free because the person was just well known across England. And when a GoFundMe was created, it was like a miracle. 2 days, we had raised £5,000. And another person died like a few months later. We toiled for 3 weeks just to raise £3,000. So when I was asked to join, I was really delighted that there's something like this that will help and benefit everybody else. So I was appointed a vice treasurer. So I still hold that according to the records, though I am not an acting vice treasurer, but I am still that on paper for now. Okay. So Umunthu Finance, the treasurer is Luce. She's not here. I'm not sure if she is, but I'm here presenting. What we are talking about is about membership pay. So if you are to join, you need to pay £100 upfront and £20 per UK beneficiaries, of which you are entitled up to 4 UK beneficiaries. Okay. And then if you're to add anyone from Malawi, you can only add up to 2, of which you will pay £10 each. Okay. You do not need to add all beneficiaries. If you don't have, you don't have. If you have more, unfortunately, we can't allow you to have more for Malawi State. We are a listening group. So we have identified that there's a need that people may want to add more beneficiaries, especially for Malawi. But when we were talking about the scheme at the beginning, when we were looking at the numbers, it seemed that if we were to people have more numbers on the Malawi beneficiaries, we would contribute. Sorry, I think someone is making too much noise here. Just 1 second. Sorry about that. I don't know if you can hear it, but I. Sorry about that. He's making noise. It's like there's 16 people there.
It's all right.
Yeah, so I was saying that, so we understand that there are people who have raised the concern that they've got more people they would love to add in Malawi than here. So when we review, we are going to review at the end of this year. We are going to be reviewing that based on the members. So as it has been mentioned, for your voice to be heard, you need to be in the scheme. So I hope you're not going to wait until we do the review at the end of the year to say, okay, maybe when they add more members from Malawi, then I'll join. I think it's best to join now so that you can be a contributing member, contribute to the ideas, so that this thing we can own it and it can be successful. That's why we're not all knowing. We're not all knowing. We're just vessels that were there put together to put this thing together. So we know that there's a lot of brains out there, a lot of people who with brains who can help run this thing better than it is at the moment. So we will appreciate that. So on top of the £100 and those fees I've just mentioned, there is a £10 fee per member annually. So that is just to run, to pay for the websites, the ones that we're paying for, like for the accounts, the bank account that we have to pay a fee and everything else. So that £10 will go towards that. Okay, so once you join, all members have up to 60 days to make the payments. Okay, you don't have to wait for the 60 days. You can, as soon as you join, you receive your invoice, you need to pay straight away. The reason why I say that is because there is a 90 days cooling off period. So the longer you leave it, you might say, okay, I joined 3 months ago, but you didn't pay in time, then your cooling off period is going to also be long. So the best thing to do is once you join, start paying. We allow you to pay a little bit, so you can pay, say, £50 and then split it. It depends on how many beneficiaries you've added. So you can split it in half. It's up to you. But there's that flexibility of paying. Okay. So, and now how it works once all this is done, because I know the question now is, so is this enough to cover for all the funerals? The reason why we have that £100 upfront is to allow us to pay the money straight away. So if a member dies here in UK, we are paying, say, 4,000, up to 4,000 as it is at the moment. We can pay them straight away, that amount. Then we go back to the members and say, listen, there's been a funeral, we've paid so much, and therefore each member has to top up a certain amount. Okay, so that I'm going through right the last point there, which is saying top up contributions from every member whenever a payout has been made is calculated, value of payout of number of members. Okay, now again, you have to understand this will also be a problem when we have a lot of members, but maybe some haven't paid yet, or they haven't qualified yet. So it's all delaying on the numbers of how much people we think they're in the scheme at the moment. So it's very important that people, once they join, they make up their payment so that they can become full members, and they also get rid of their calling off periods to make any claim in case something happens. Okay, so we'll have a question time at the end. So I'll just go through this slide for now. Okay, so for 2021, we have had a review because of the pandemic. What hasn't changed is the top two, which is the UK member death and the UK beneficiary death. Okay, that's what hasn't changed, because like we said, we originally created the scheme just for us, for people here, for when we die. The beneficiary section just came out as a benefit for us. So because we can't just be contributing waiting for our death. So we thought maybe if we add beneficiaries, then at least you benefit that in that way as well. So for this year, we have reviewed, as again, we will review every year. And if the pandemic changes or something like maybe in Malawi things have changed, we may review. So at the moment for UK death is up to 4,000, and for UK beneficiary death is up to 2,000. And for Malawi beneficiary is at the moment, we've just put it at £5 per head. Okay, so we will see how many people are eligible in the system, and then we'll do a payout. But again, this is all up for review. This has happened because we had a situation where we had 3 deaths in Malawi, and looking at the 800, which was originally put there, we thought that it was very impossible. It will just run us dry, that we couldn't even have enough money to pay if a UK death had happened. So that is a very important point to make there, to say we need to make sure that there is enough money, and that's why that Malawi beneficiary death was reviewed, and it will be reviewed again, maybe before the end of the year, in case there's a change in the death in Malawi. Okay. Okay, other finance matters. So make sure you give us, when you register, make sure you give us an email that works. I know some of us have got 5 emails, so sometimes I know this one is to give to the supermarkets or to the retailers or whatever. This one is for the bank and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you give us the email that works and the one that you know you can check, because we do correspond via emails. Invoices, everything is via emails. Unless otherwise we can't get hold of you, we'll try and call you, and then maybe post will be the last option. Okay, I know we've had people, one person that really wanted the forms on hard copy, which we managed to do it. But in as much as we would love, because of the world we're in at the moment, going on the website and apply and check your emails is kind of a norm at the moment. So that's that on other finance matters. We've got bank details there in the spreadsheet, not spreadsheet, in the presentation slide. Just in case you have already joined. I know some people have joined, but maybe they are waiting to hear from this meeting before they can make a payment, but that's our bank details. Okay, you can take a photo of it if you like. But the details will be provided on the invoice anyway. So, and you'll be given options on how to pay. There's PayPal, there's you paying through the account, and there's a direct link from the invoice that you can pay through. Okay. But if you're like old-fashioned like me, who likes to have the account and create an account and all that kind of stuff, then please take note. Okay, now before I say how to claim, I think I was supposed to say how to join at the beginning of my presentation, which wasn't included in my slides. We have a website, Umunthu, www.umunthufunerals.com, where you can find, it's very clear there, where you can find a link that says join here, and then you can join. But again, if you feel like you want the actual form, just speak to us. And then we can always email you the form to fill and email it back to us. So how to claim? Again, you can go back on the website. There's a tab there where you can claim or you can email. We do have a WhatsApp group, of which we ask fully paid member to join if they want to. We do a lot of correspondence there, and all of us founders are there. So you can always, and we are marked as admins, so you can always text one of the admins and say, I've been bereaved, and then we can do the necessaries. If it's yourself who has died, obviously it will have to be the next of kin. So when you are putting information on your form, make sure you put the next of kin that is aware of what you're doing, so that they don't just be sitting down not knowing that you had a scheme. So if you are putting someone as a next of kin, please inform them that you've put them as next of kin, and if anything happens, they need to contact Umunthu's funeral scheme, because otherwise we wouldn't, if we don't know, then we wouldn't be able to help. I mean, unless we see on the Facebook or somewhere, and then we recognize that you're part of us. But it's very important that the next of kin is aware of the scheme, and the beneficiaries as well, if they're understanding, if they're old enough, it's important that you let them know. Okay, so to make a claim or the next of kin, you are supposed to complete an online form, as I mentioned, or contact Secretariat, or via WhatsApp or via website. And once the members' details are verified, payment will be made within 48 hours. We have that WhatsApp number and that number. If you call those numbers and it's not going through, please, again, do not hesitate to email any of us or call any of us from the WhatsApp group. We'll be able to help you. Okay. Thank you for your attention. And I'm not sure whether we'll take questions now or we take them at the end, Cicero's.
I think
You're
we should
on mute.
at the end.
Okay, all right. So I'm done.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Any comment from the Umunthu members? Or anything to add, just to add?
Oh, so to add, Tine has added the link of the website, of our website in the chat.
Okay.
I think there's nothing, Ruth.
Okay, so according to our agenda, the next will be the members' feedback. I think we've got Rowan, you're a member, and I think you can just, sorry to put you on the spot. Is Rowan around? I've put you on the spot, sorry. You're on mute, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so is it just a comment then?
Yeah, in a comment, yeah.
For me, yeah, I attended the first meeting, but I didn't manage to stay the whole time. But then later on, I watched a recording on Facebook. So from what I heard, from what different people talked about that day, I was convinced that it's something that would be very beneficial for me. So yeah, I didn't even hesitate to join. And yeah, so at the moment, I've even accepted to be the ambassador. I'm still learning my role, but it's something that I believe in. I think it's a good thing. Maybe, yeah, I've heard some people are like, okay, we need maybe to compare with the other insurances or something like that. But I think this one it looks like it's easier for me. The way I look at it is like straightforward thing. And yeah, so I would encourage people to join. And yeah, because it's our own thing as well. So the more we join, the more it would work. Thank you. Next time I would prepare. I didn't.
sorry. It's all right.
Yeah. But it's just something that I was convinced from the beginning. I just thought this sounds really good, so that you don't have to kind of like get worried when things happen. Although at the moment, like the issue that Mtisunge raised, like for example, if your dependents are only in Malawi, you don't have any dependent in the UK, how do we find a balance? But I think the good thing is that we have our founders who are listening, and they're saying they'll be taking all our suggestions. And yeah, so I guess it's something that we all need to support and see how we can help one another. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, it's just like Mbele Mapangira Kumudzi, we are just a community that we want to help each other in terms of need, So this scheme, really, it's just like a number of people telling each other, it is tandizana, tizithandizana pakachitika maliro, and maliro anga akazachitikanso, I know kuti azandithandizana, and it's confirmed. And it's actually put in writing to say that you are the member. So definitely, if you die, you get that money. And it also depends. I should also raise one point I shouldn't forget, that it basically depends on the number of members for the payout. So say originally in this scheme, we had thought payout would be up to 7,000. Yeah. Because that's the market, I think, market cost of funerals and all that. So we said that depending on the number of members, we can pay up to 7,000. But because now we're not as many, that's why we put it at 4,000 for the members to be able to afford. Because we don't want to put them in a financial burden as well. So we said, well, okay, 4,000 just because we are not as many. But the more we are, the merrier, because the number is divided by the number of people that are there. So just to clear that, the more the merrier. Yeah. I don't know if we have got Julie. Is Julie around? Because she's one of the people that benefited from the scheme when she lost her dad. Edith, is she around? I can't see her. Okay, so we now open for questions. If Julie comes, then she can just say whatever her feedback is from the scheme, how she felt assisted and all that. At the moment, we are open for questions, please. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
How soon after joining can one benefit from the scheme? Let's say I joined today and something else has happened and fully paid member. How soon can I get the same benefits or benefit?
No, should I take that, Tina, or you want to take it? No, I think, as I mentioned in the presentation, that there is a cooling off period.
90.
So you can make a claim until after 90 days.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So the sooner you join, the better.
Okay.
Yeah, because you just need to pay £50, you know, then you have got 60 days to pay the rest. So pay the rest. But if you pay the £50, you at least your cooling off period will start, you know, will start counting, you know. So the sooner you join, the better. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
So,
for answering the question.
I think mine is on top of that. I'm just asking. So, let's say Umunthu walibira fully everything from that day because they want to, and you cannot plan funerals. If you can plan funerals, then it wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Because you know and you can save to that. Especially with the COVID and stuff, no one knows what's going to happen today or tomorrow. That's why we literally be doing this. So if you're giving me 90 days for cooling off period that I cannot claim, then what's the point of me joining now, paying everything straight away, and I'm still going to have 90, you know, because as I say, I'm trying to avoid, you know what I mean, that's why I'm paying now and wanting now. But so if I cannot claim for 90 days, then where's the benefit in there for me?
Okay. Anybody wants to take that? I think when we were looking at this, we were looking at other schemes or insurances, how it all works. You cannot join an insurance for anything and start claiming straight away. There is always, you will always have to have a cooling off period, and some is even more than what we've given. So that is the plan behind it. Everyone else can join and straight away, because we don't know why you've joined that day. Maybe the funeral has already happened. So you can just join, you know, and then you tell us the following day that, oh, actually someone has just died. But we can't prove it because maybe they already died 2 days ago. Do you know what I mean? So we were looking at those kind of things. But I mean, people, you guys, you can help me on other points on why we need to really have the cooling period.
No, so I understand, yeah, what you're saying. Job, you know, if I'm claiming for something that already happened, that's obvious, that's wrong. I understand that's wrong. Yeah. No one should be doing that. One, I know there's insurance company that you can pay and then you can claim straight away. I've got 1 or 2 of them, so I know, yes. But also, because you guys are saying you're trying to tailor this to the guys in diaspora. So if you're doing that, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to look after for each other. We're trying to look out for each other. So if I've showed my commitment and I paid straight away and I'm like, you know what, I'm good to go. And if something happened 2, 3, 4 days or maybe a week or so after, why should I not get a benefit then?
Well, your scheme doesn't end anyway. If that is the funeral that has happened, obviously there will be other funerals. Unfortunately, for me, I don't think I've got any more answers. If there's anyone else to help me answer this gentleman, please. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Oh, sorry, Morgan. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think the issue was kuti sometimes people amadziona kuti akudwala or something like that, ndiye kuzachita kupanga dala kuna kuti abale apapa ndimene zikuonekeramo ali kaya then that's when they decide to join. So we're trying to like limit or reduce that risk. Ona kuti anthu ena akudziwa ona kuti agogo anga tu pajali kaya tu chancha ndiye kuchani kumkwayikapo. So we're just trying to, if you see what I mean, kuti tizikhala, we just have to be vigilant to say una kuti sikuti munthu akangojoina lero lomwe kuyamba kupanga kuchita claim, because we don't know the reasons behind their joining, but they have to show a commitment, to say that awadipire, then they have a cooling off period sangachite claim mpaka na 3 months. But as we always said, if it's something that people think, the members think it's not right or something like that, we can always go back to the drawing table, and we are a listening like organization, and we can always review that. It's not a problem at all. If we have, actually it says that if you have about 6 or so members that have an issue, they can come forward and we can call for a meeting, and then we review, and then we like vote again, about on that, and then people can make a decision.
Okay.
So is it fair to say, sorry for clogging the questions, but is it fair to say, maybe you should sell it saying, okay, situation dependent, because when it's like, I understand why you're doing it. Don't get me wrong, I understand, because yes, Komano, some things will just happen. That's why it's called death. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen, and no one wants to choose who wants to get the benefit for someone for something like that. You know what I mean? Because that's my little. So I think maybe if you say, okay, depending on situation, we can see whatever happens that time, and we can go. You guys can go that. You think Muntwali Binagadin is committed, is there, and that's fine. I mean, we can see the situation will get there, because you're punishing everyone else for whatever, you know what I mean. And I understand why you say that people can pre-plan that. There can be, unfortunately, people can do that. Komano, some other people who are not doing that, they're getting punished. They feel like they'll get punished for the same thing. So
can I just come in? Sorry.
Yeah.
Can I come in? Sorry, I forgot your name, but I think there are two issues that, as a member and then as a beneficiary, I think the responses that have been given is when it's beneficiaries. But if a member has died, and I would say within a month or 2 months of joining, then that will have to be an executive decision, because the member should have some entitlements, but that's something that we can't say black and white as well, because sometimes there could also be connotations as to why they've joined. I think you get what I'm saying. So at that point, then it will have to be the executives sit down and determine, okay, and do their investigations and then make a decision. But for beneficiaries, definitely that 90-day has to apply. But if it's a member, then depending on the situations, there has to be an executive decision. And in our constitution, we do have several instances where the executives can actually make a decision. I can't quote each one at the moment, but I know there are several, like sometimes even who to admit. Executives can make a decision if somebody feels, well, maybe I wasn't raised by my mom, I was raised by my aunt, then the executives can actually allow that person to register that aunt as a beneficiary. So there are opportunities where the executives can sit down and make a decision depending on what the situation is. I just wanted to add that there is some flexibility, but it's got to be considered on a case by case and not as a general view.
All right, good.
And I think also to add on that, maybe if it was like a member, what we could do is like we we had an issue whereby we had 3 funerals at once, and then we had to consult the members to say, how do we do it because of the payouts and all that. So in that situation, I think if it's a member who has died, definitely we'll have to discuss with the members as well. If we feel that it's necessary, that we discuss with the members and what they think, because by the end of the day, it will be the members that will be paying, you know, it's not us, the executive, it's not whatever, but it's the members that will be paying. So definitely we can deal with a situation as it comes. But as Tina has said, a member is eligible, whatever the case is eligible, but we just have to be careful. I mean, we just have to know that it's 90 days, yes, and we will weigh the situation to say, was it, I mean, what can we do in this case? But otherwise, 90 days applies to all the beneficiaries and all that.
Can I just ask, please?
Yes.
I wasn't there last week, and I'm not aware of what you discussed. Can you please elaborate when you say it's the members who are going to be paying when someone else dies? Because I understand from what you've said is I have to pay £100 joining fee, and then is it £20 or £10 annual fee per member or per beneficiaries? If I pay that, once something happens, I get a £700 or a £4,000 payout. Where that money comes from, only you admins or the team knows. Can you clarify when you say it's members who are going to put that bill? What does that mean?
Okay. So I'm not sure if you were here when I was doing the presentation at the beginning.
I was, yeah. Yes. The other day.
So, okay. So we £100, like we said, it's just for there to be in the bank, so that we have money in the pocket to extract from when a death happens.
Yeah.
Now, what we have to do is each and every member has to top up their £100. So when it happens,
so it's
if
like
we pay
kind
out
of
to
like
UK,
the GoFundMe, but the GoFundMe is just within the group, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but there's a set amount. So for UK, I just can't remember the amount, but there is a set amount. So what we'll do is we'll tell you, okay, we've paid say 4,000 or whatever we've paid. So there are so many members, because it will be different. Like I said, it's how many people are in the system eligible to pay for the payouts. So if there is 100 that are eligible to pay, then we'll divide that by the 100 and say you need to top up your £100 so much. Okay. So like the funerals that happened in January, every member, there were 3 of them. So we all have to top up £20. Okay.
For the 3.
Okay.
Yeah, for the 3, not for each funeral, but for the 3.
Yes.
Okay. So this means that they already got their money. So they don't need to wait for all of us to pay back. And you are the advantage with this as well. You're given time. So you've got up to a month to pay back your money.
Yes.
Okay.
So you are just topping up your 100.
You're just topping up your 100. So you're not paying anything else. So we just want to top up that £100. So then you're taller for £100. Now we need to just replace back the money there.
Okay.
We just want to be ready for another funeral, just in case there's another funeral.
So now that
100 should be intact.
That brings me another question.
Yeah.
I asked you earlier on as how soon can I benefit from the scheme after joining? My understanding is if I join today, paying everything, let's say I've got 3 beneficiaries and myself, which is 4 people, and I pay for them cash everything today. From what you answered, you said I cannot benefit up to the cooling period has ended, which is 3 months. However, if anything happens, let's say one of the members in the group passes away, I still need to contribute. But if my beneficiary passes away, I will not benefit from the scheme because the 3 months hasn't passed yet. That's what you said, isn't it?
No, let me just jump in. Sorry, that's not correct.
All
So
right.
if you have not passed your cooling off period, you don't contribute to funerals. So people who are members now will tell you that others may be members, but they've not received our invoices because they are not fully paid members. So only those who are eligible to be full members received an invoice for top up. So that's why Ntisunge keeps saying that the longer you keep it, so you can't benefit, you can't pay. So you're really at a disadvantage either way. The sooner you pay, the sooner you can also participate, because this is a contribution scheme. You know, it's like it's just another way of collecting contributions in advance, because we know death will happen. Yes. Instead of waiting for death to happen and then we start collecting.
Yeah.
So what we are asking for is, if more of us join, then more of us are eligible, then more of us are also eligible to top up, then that's a less burden on people. So suppose if we had 200 members and they're all eligible, when a death happens, you find that but when they are less, then there's a burden. So it's also urging the members, those of us who are members, to also get other people to join, so that the burden is fair. So as a member, you try and invite other members. £10, I would rather pay £5. So you see, if every member invited one more person and the payout was £20, if it happened again, then the payout would actually be reduced by half. So that's the way the scheme works. The more the members, the less the burden. Okay. I hope that clears your question.
It has, yeah, to some degree.
No, if bring more questions if you have them. We are here for you.
Well, I think my only plea to the admin team is to look on this point where a member cannot benefit or a beneficiary cannot benefit because the cooling off period hasn't ended. If that cannot be clarified, then I would ask maybe if people are joining, maybe to bring in a bill of death.
And he was emperor, just, it's debated by scholars, but probably 5-10 years.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Yeah, I think Onena, she's saying maybe people have to provide proof that their health. I think that's what we were trying to avoid. I think now I remember.
What I'm saying is, in the meantime, I am perfectly healthy. My kids are perfectly healthy. But like what we said and discussed before, death doesn't knock on the door, or it doesn't even give you an advance. Oh, Alice, 2 weeks from now, or beneficiary wako wina mwalira siku la kutara kuti. No. So if I've paid now, you know, like the way you've explained, this is something that I'm convinced this is a good scheme, especially for me, a Malawian. I've seen how things, you know, like when death occurs, when it comes to finances, dissolve water, you know. Something happens 2 months from now. I understand kuti member, you know, like muma kambirana. Or beneficiary, I think it's something so not you need to sit down and then find thing. Otherwise,
I think that's the more reason you need to pay as soon as possible. Because I'll give you an example. Now we have had is it 2 or 3? The chair, the vice chair, and I think Ntisunga herself, she lost a brother. May his soul rest in peace. But because she was still within the cooling off period, so it's not something that tukungopanga kuti ifeyo tikhoza kuthandizika. We're just following what the constitution said. It's 90 days, but we can always review those things. Yeah. But what I can say is even our own people, our own founders, you know, they didn't qualify, you know. So we didn't give them because that's not what is in the constitution. So what we're saying is the sooner you do it, the better, because that will mean that masiku azitana as tamanga, you know what it means. Even if you pay just £50, it will help you. At least unakhala ndiwe member kuli off ujeni yako yamba pati yamba pamenepo, you know.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So the sooner the sooner the better. Don't wait until something knocks on the door and then you say, oh, the low way up. Yeah.
Thank you.
But no, to be quite honest, we have got a lot of people that are qualifying as well, you know. So the sooner the better. Any other questions?
Auntie Chucks, I think I've seen you've raised the hand. There's other people. So Auntie Chucks, you can go. I think ask a question, please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the good presentation. Loud and clear. But I've got a few questions or 1, 2 areas for clarification, not maybe necessarily a question. I'm a bit worried in the sense that you're saying that there is money to be topped up and an executive decision to be made, which I'm assuming is discretionary. And usually in discretionary decision or routes, there is unfairness because one discretion never follows suit to the other one. So I'd be a bit worried about discretionary rules. Also, another question is, that was a comment. Another question is, has Umunthu secured finances from any lenders to have in their kitty? Because most insurances here, when they start up an insurance company, and how they work is they benefit on those who pay and don't die, those who pay and quit halfway through because it's non-refundable. But they have a buffer if you, from their lenders, if say, for example, I join today and I die tomorrow, I get full benefits. Does the Umunthu have any of that funding secured from big lenders? And lastly, a question I've forgotten. I'm getting old.
No, you're not.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's it. If I remember, I'll ask.
You'll ask. Okay.
Yeah.
Chairman, do you
Who is taking that one?
Okay, well, I think we're failing to answer because we don't have it. Okay, it's coming.
Okay,
It's coming.
I can come in. I think maybe I'll address the second one. So we are not an insurance company. Maybe that's how I should start. Really,
no,
this is like a community.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. You're not an insurance. You are Umunthu Funeral.
Okay.
Should I say funeral directors, funeral funders, something? But the way the process that I'm feeling here, it does, from what you outlined, it does mirror that. It does mirror, if I take an insurance out, they'll pay out for me. I know the other question I wanted to ask is, percentages wise, are there percentages in terms of how much the individuals get? Say myself, I'm a member and the other ones are my beneficiaries. Do we have that breakdown? I think maybe I could have missed in your presentation that aspect, whether one gets 100%, 75, 25, so on and so forth. Yeah, carry on, ma'am.
Okay, no, so I'll move to your last question. So we have for 2021, we've agreed a payout amounts. So we have a breakdown. I'm not sure, Ntisunga, if you're able to put that in the chat, but for 2021, the member gets about 4,000 if they die. And if they beneficiary is resident in Europe or United Kingdom, they get £2,000. And if the beneficiary dies for the moment in Malawi, then each member who's eligible at that time contributes £5. So we'll multiply the £5 by the number of members and make the payout. So that's your third question. So I was saying about the insurance scheme. So we are not insurers, because I think, just to clarify, should we be termed insurers, then we wouldn't have been working the way we're working. We would have gone to the route of registering as an insurance company. But what we've done is do a community scheme. So it's like an advanced, or trying to be a bit of a disciplined way of collecting contributions in advance to pay out. So although we are calling things payouts and all that, we are not working the way the insurance companies work. We do have some intelligence that we use. So obviously we'll be looking at, okay, how many members do we have? Can we afford to be making these claims? Should we have this number of days? That's just business sense in our calculations of claims or contributions from each member. So I think I have to be quite clear that although we may use the intelligence from an insurance industry, but we are definitely not an insurance company. We're not governed by the Financial Conduct Authority or any of that. At the moment, we are running as a community initiative among Malawians, and we have mirrored this from other diasporan initiatives that are around, that we've seen our friends, like the Congolese, they have something similar. A lot of Zimbabweans have something similar. So we try to make a simplistic arrangement of what are complex matters when it comes to death. That's what we try to do, and we try to make it less complex by not going the official route of registering under the financial regulations and being under those finance regulations. We have your first question of have we secured any funding from lenders? No, this is a member contribution scheme. So whatever members give us is what is paid out. We have a few administrative expenses, but we use the annual membership fees from our members to pay that. So it is a membership scheme. What members pay is what is given out, and amounts given out are agreed at members meeting. We had a members meeting in January where all the terms were agreed. We had another extraordinary meeting also, I think it was last week of January, where some changes were made. So any change that impacts on a payout or contribution, it is a member decision. I think I should make that clear when you were asking about discretionary. So yeah. Discretionary is usually on who is joining. And I'd give an example of more, okay, if a member wants to add their grandma or their uncle, those are the decisions that we can't keep going back to the members. The executives can make those decisions. But any decision that involves money, payout and claim, that is the member's decision. And should they need us to report to the members, then we're open to do that through an extraordinary meeting. And our members have been quite welcoming when we've called them to say, there's this on the table, please help us decide. They've come forward and voted to the decision. So we've been running since September last year. We think we have good members who are willing to help us run this scheme, and hopefully this will continue. And any suggestions that we're getting from whatever forums, we are keeping them on hold. We are tabling them, and they will be presented at the next AGM at the end of the year when the scheme is being reviewed. So I hope I've sort of answered all your questions or clarifications. But I thank you so much for your points. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for your responses. Possibly lastly, I would like you to share maybe on the overwhelming aspect, not so much here. For us who are in diaspora, but if we add members at home, if you take the COVID scenario, we are experiencing large volumes of deaths. Right.
Yes.
In Malawi, there have been situations where a family has experienced 4 deaths.
Yes.
Right. In a space of 2 weeks, a month.
Yes.
If that was to happen, say for example, I've taken out, I keep saying insurance. I've taken out Umunthu.
Yes.
I've taken out the Umunthu membership and I've
Yes.
put on my relatives, and sadly that unfortunate scenario strikes my family. Can you share some of the experiences, what you found in, more especially in terms of challenging or weaknesses that you're seeing in Umunthu that you can perfect on? Because that would be worrying to say, will the finances be there for everybody?
Yes.
If these things happen to 3-4 members who are out here but have got their relatives back home.
Okay.
And
so
I promise that's the last question.
Okay, all right, thank you. So it is a sad time. It is a very sad time for I'm sure most of us here on this forum. We have lost people we know, and it's been challenging for Umunthu to think ahead of what's going to happen. And you know, with any scheme, we don't know what's going to happen. When in December we didn't know we're going to have such a bad January. But what happened, the time we realized that there is COVID in Malawi and it's affecting us, immediately we said we need to speak to the members, because number one, we don't want them to be under a heavy burden, because every funeral then has to be topped up. I think we talked about the top up. So it is also a business that we have to think about sustainability of the scheme. So what we did for COVID in January was we had to invite the members and give them the facts and give them the options that if we continue with the payouts the way they are, this is how much you would have to pay should it happen. And then we gave them various options, and our members voted and said, you know, the way things are in Malawi, let's cap it to say every funeral at the moment until this COVID period, every member contributes £5. So that's what has been happening and will continue happening until it's reviewed. So every member at the moment knows exactly how much they'll contribute should there be a death in Malawi. That's how we have arranged it and tried to mitigate that, so that it's sad that people will be affected, yes, but as a business we also have to think of its sustainability. And also to add that when we invite the members to join, they list their beneficiaries. So not even if I may have 4 brothers and my parents may still be alive, so I may have 6 people that I would want to name as beneficiaries, but I'm only limited to 2. So it's only the 2 that I registered as my beneficiaries that I'm eligible to get a claim should they die. So it's not everyone who is your sibling or your parent, but it's only those who are registered. So in that way, as a business, there's also some mitigation. I hope that clarifies your answer, your question.
Yes, it does, ma'am. Thanks very much for that.
All right, you're welcome.
Maybe could I just?
There was a question from John, I think.
Yeah, can I just chip in as well from what Tina has explained? Sorry, I know that you are satisfied with the responses, but I just wanted to emphasize the points that Tina has raised. If you look at the founders, most of the founders are in a way with a professional, making their jobs. Yeah, they're having to deal with most of these difficult decisions.
Sorry, you're breaking up a little bit. You say if we look at the most founders, they were, sorry, I think that's that you were breaking
up. If you look at the profiles of most of the founders, Yeah. Most of the founders, I think there's about 4 or 3 accountants in the group. And most of these people, in their daily lives, they are having to make some of these difficult decisions already. They're underpinning the work of Umunthu. We have strong governance and strong risk management strategies, where as the lead team, we are always assessing what is happening in the environment and what risk does this have on the organization. And as Tina has highlighted, it was on the background of this that as the lead team, the moment we got news of Malawi, COVID went shonchi, as the management team, we had to stop and say, okay, fine, what is the implications on Umunthu and what is it that we need to do to mitigate against these issues? And this is how we plan to operate throughout this operation with this initiative, that we are bringing in our expertise from wherever we are involved in, on our daily lives, whatever, there's accountants, there's marketing people, with different professionals, that when we come together, we are able to make some of the most strategic decisions that can protect the members, but also help us to sustain this organization moving forward. So I hope that gives you an assurance that among the management team, there is broad expertise that can really help to address some of these issues. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for your input.
Any more questions, please? This is your time, please. Ask all the questions that Joe, you had some questions, come on.
That's enough. Can I say something, please?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, I'm not Joe. Anyway, I think he's gone. And yeah, anyway, he's here. And cooling off period. And I think we are not comfortable with the way things are at the meantime. Just as an assurance to you guys is the scheme we said in the membership. So whatever you've said, this is if the membership thinks it's a right way of doing it, maybe reducing the months from 3 months to 2 months or to 1 month, then obviously whatever people agree, deserve adopt that. As much as people are comfortable with it, they need to maybe after a week are eligible to claim. That will depend on the grouping, on the membership. So thank you so much for your questions, and then that will obviously be taken into consideration.
Another option. Hello?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
I was the one who asked that question. Mwina taking in like mina mapangira my insurance ena kuno kuti if you've bought it, let's say you've insured your TV ya unongeka and you are claiming, you need to give in mwina excess. So let's say maybe if I've joined in today and my cooling off period sina bangi, and in Dukubanga claim something has happened, mwina make having those rules okay, cooling off period this has happened now mwina make you need to only give you half, or mwina make you need to pay this excess fee of this much. I don't know if that is making sense.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Komano, like what the auntie mentioned, kuti mukazisia zindwambili kuti zikale kwa in the hands of a few to make a discretionary.
No, not necessarily kuti discretionary thing. what I'm saying is kuti anthu mukamaza
Very, very
kumana like
space.
my members kuti discuss on that point, because like kwa ineyo my worry yanga mwina kwa anthu enanso yono kuti kwapanga walipira yonse kuma we're waiting for the cooling off period. Let's say kuti ndalipira lerolo all the money ndibe balance ina ili yonse, you know, fully paid. Komano I can only start benefiting after 3 months kuti cooling off period yet. Something happens within the 2 months. 3 months is in a and I need help. I need support from Inuyo. Obviously, I understand I can't benefit because Maman Sabeno Sanat. So what I'm saying, or what I'm rather suggesting is, for the next time we meet, I could discuss if we can have, is it, I can't remember whether it's excess fee, the one that you pay, let's say you're claiming bank, you're claiming the TV is 350 pounds. It will give you 200 pounds. You have to pay 100 pounds for you to put it over many. I don't know if I'm making sense.
On that, don't forget the payout comes out from our own pockets. You see, from the members' pockets. So you've just paid 100 pounds, and the next day you expect maybe to receive 4,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Sizo kubeleka sense unless utaka kuti imene wapereka ndi imene umalandira, that's another thing. Kuti ndapereka 500 zikandigwera and pasaso 500 ndiye pamene pokhozona kuti yeah, I think that's not fair. Komano you wouldn't expect just because you've paid 100 pounds and then ulandire 4,000 pounds.
Right, now, you are right, of course, yeah.
That si kugwira chifukwa choti inanga si ndi a contributory member urgent scheme kuti ma members amene ali mgulumo na amene muzipanga contribute china chake chikachitika. You see, it's like one way kuthandizana toka. It's not a business kuti maybe for now, see, we haven't started maybe even investing the little we have kuti tikupeza so pindu from my investments enaki ndi ndalama yomwe tikupangayo kuti pazingokhala ka fairness kena kake kusiyana ndi zimene zimachitika za GoFund zija kuti zimaona nkhope. Ena amapatsidwa ndalama, ena amapezeka kuti monse mwayambira kupempha ndalama za GoFund me chifukwa choti munthu ndosadziwika anthu samapanga contribute kena kalikonse. It takes time kuti mpaka anthu utani amusonkhele pamene wina just 1 week 10,000 pounds yakwana. With Umunthu zonse ndi kuti muzipanga zofanana and simuzidandaula so kuti tidikirire kaye kuti tisonkhetse zikachitika verified you are eligible basi ndiye kuti ndalama next day zikulowa ku account kwanu munthu muthandizikira pa zovuta without you getting worried kuti ndalama tizitenga kuti. You see, so you've got good ideas. The best you can do for the community is to join Umunthu, to join any. My ideas amene tizithandizirana limodzi kuti tiona bwanji. Otherwise mukakhala kumbuyo kumangoyang'anira ndi kuti sizithandiza. For you nakasi izizi tukuzipangira tokha. You see, we've got families, we've got kids here.
Yeah.
Family it's us. I mean, it both. Even utakha kuti ulikale ndi insurance pina kwake, but for the benefit of the community it's better to join. Like in my case ndi insurance kumbali, but I had to join Umunthu as well.
Yeah.
For the benefit of the community. For joti munthu wina chikamugwera burden sikhala ya munthu mozi amene mwamzungulira so imakhaso burden yanu kuti nditi panga bwanji maybe uli ndi 100 pounds yokha wina ali 50 pounds ndamasiku kwana kuti musonkheze 5,000. So burden ikamugwera munthu mmodzi imakhala burden ya community yonse. You see, so this is the best way for the meantime, maybe until titazapezaso njira ina kusogolo, koma for the meantime this is the best way kuti tiyeni tijoineni. It's just 100 pounds kwinako my ideas amene mukunenawo khomo lake losatheka aisitanena kuti sitimvera so zimene akunena anthu ena. Mukakhala my ideas tizikambirana kuti okay my ideas amenewo let's discuss as a group. Tonse limodzi osati ma administrators okha, tonse limodzi kuti okay pala idea iyi mukuiona bwanji. Mukayikambirana then mupeza solution kuti okay then it is Vangani Chonch and you conclude and you adopt that.
Yeah,
Can
on
I,
the same note, maybe if I can also
can I
add.
seek some more clarification?
Yeah, sure.
Did I hear it right that membership is restricted to family and you make a decision on if I want to have somebody who is not an immediate family member?
Who's taking that one?
Yeah, so we were saying, could the immediate family obviously is your siblings, your mom, your dad, but Antoine lost maybe parents a long time ago when they were small and they were raised by their uncle or their aunt or their grandmother. Then those are some of the exceptions. Or you adopted a child, you're looking after a child who you have been looking after since they were 5. And yet maybe you didn't adopt maybe officially, but they regard you as their parent. You can add them as Jani, as your dependent. But again, that is what we were saying. That will be the decision that will be then have to be discussed as a family. How can we help this person? This is their situation. Is that better explained, Mr. Sichinga?
Hello. No, I think mine went off. I didn't hear the response.
You didn't hear anything? Okay.
No.
Okay, your network is showing that it's poor. Okay, it's gone okay now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Tumanena kuti chifukwa chokuti sinangapa makhala anthu ena kuti ana kuzidwa ndazi anthu ena ngati anti awo kapena achimwene awo amene, and they regard them as their parents. You can add those, but like we're saying, kuti that will be a decision where we have to consider. You will have to tell us, kuti this is your situation. This is my parent. I lost my parents, and I regard these people as my parents. Then we can make that kind of discretionary. Kapena munatenga mwana oti mukumuyang'anira and is under 18, then we can say, okay, maybe we can add that child. But you have to make that step to say, because if you have to say to us, I've added this person on my form, but this is the situation. Can you help me? So then we can consider.
Yeah, but what the constitution says is that it has to be siblings and makolo and Adako.
Yeah, I think I had some few problems with that because it's an individual who has to choose who they have to put on a policy. And I think on the form there, it's not indicating. It's just say, can you appoint your beneficiaries, which I think is the right thing, because you rightly said, some of us, I don't have a father, I don't have a mother. My only parent who is alive is my wife's parent. So if I'm appointing my beneficiary, if I put that one, do I need to be seeking consent from an organization who I have to appoint as a beneficiary?
Yes, you will have to raise that issue, yes, to say, if your wife is also under the scheme, you both can't add the parents, yeah? Let me just say that to begin with. So you can't add the same person as 2 people. So if you are the only one as a member and your wife is a beneficiary, and you want to add her mother or her father as a beneficiary, then you will need to raise that with us. But to say, well, this is the situation. Or better still, the wife can become the member and you become the beneficiary. If you want to be under one scheme, otherwise both of you can join separately and she can add the parents.
Yeah, if I myself without my wife, then there's someone who might not be in a relation that I want to appoint as my beneficiary. Why would you want to stop me?
So,
yeah, go on.
I'm not sure whether we are getting each other, because we're saying under the constitution, we
Yeah,
have
the constitution, yes, I'm hearing it's the
okay.
constitution. Why does the constitution have to limit people's choice as to who they want to be their beneficiary? That's where I have problems.
Yeah, I think that's why we said that we will be reviewing the constitution as we go, because that was what was there before. I mean, before we launched the thing, and we agreed that 90 days is the. I mean, sorry, not 90 days. These are the people that are eligible. So if members feel that no, I think we should be given the opportunity to choose ourselves. Definitely, we can table that in our next review and then agree with the other members if that's the way they want things to be. I don't know if you have answered. Yeah, but at the moment, that's what's in the constitution, that it has to be all those people. But a lot of people have raised that as well. So we intend to review that at our next review session. I don't know if I've answered you correctly.
Yeah, you have stated what is, but
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, but we will
No,
be
it's not
reviewing, as
happy.
you said. Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't seem happy. It
Anybody
doesn't seem
else?
happy.
Are you
Yeah,
happy? Smile a
Yeah,
minute, you're happy.
it's fine because anyway, as it is now, it's fine.
But you are a member, so as a member, you can raise all those issues.
Yeah, I remember. I'm exactly saying what happened, because when on the form we didn't indicate, and when I was registering, I'd put my father-in-law as the beneficiary. So when he died, then I tried to come and said, no, he's not supposed to be there. I said, what? Why is he not supposed to be there? This is the person I choose to. I come with a choice. So if you as an organization start putting
limitations
choice into people, then and you are saying your community, it should be generated from us, or you are giving us the choice. I don't know, because if it was like we are doing the community thing where it's welfare, then we want to limit, because people don't come in with money. But you are people on this one, your membership is determined with the money that you are paying and the people that you think you want to include in the scheme. So for the constitution to give limit to say only your family, if I don't have family, I only have friends, I want to benefit, why would you want to stop me? But as you rightly said,
I will just remind you,
review.
Mr. Stinga, I will just remind you that even on our welfare, we have a limit. we have a limit on who we can contribute for. Remember?
Yeah.
Family, sisters, brothers.
Yeah, it's because the contribution is voluntary, and you don't want to wear people with fatigue. They contribute for this one, that one, that one. But on this one, a member comes with the money. Money is their vote.
On the same, Mr. Stinga. Mr. Stinga, ngati pamene pa mwana kuti you don't to burden my members. Pina wait. It's the same with this one. Chifukwa chakuti olipira ndi my members. You see?
Yeah, for example,
and the main thing with this scheme, the and how no coffee. Maona it. Malira amene amavuta si aku Malawi yayi. Amavuta kwambiri ndi malira kunoko. And if you're being in the maybe my associations, you know better. Kuti zinthu zikagwa ngati ku Manchester kuno kwakha kuchitika maliro tinaona amene amakhalira mavuto oti mwina munthu alibe insurance. Mose mayambira kuika pa GoFund paja ndalama mapaka target maybe just 5,000 koma mpaka kuzamaliza ndalama maybe osafika 3,000. you see. So ndi zinthu zoti burden imene yoyo ndimene tikufuna kuti kwambiri tipange concentrate on. Maona pamene inayo imangokhala kuti ngati chipepeso kungothandizira chabe ngati za ku Malawizo, and maliro ku Malawi sovuta kwambiri kusiyana ndi kunoko. Ndiye tikapanga concentrate kwambiri zathu za kunokozi zimene zingatithandize kuti tizipepukidwa, not just us komanso anthu amene tikwaziwa. As I said already, chikachitika chinthu cha munthu kuti mukumuziwa inuyonso chimakukhuzani, burden inso imakhala inuyo, though maliro sanachitike nyumba mwanu. Koma chifukwa cha umunthu mmene muli nawo mumakhuzidwa kuti pamene pandeti zitha bwanji zathu kuti muthandiza bwanji, you see.
Yeah, that's right.
Pama beneficiary kusankhapo nchifukwa chakuti any organization imakhala ndi risk management to avoid zinthu zina. That's why pamakhabe chindondomeko tina ndi tina kuti yayi at least amene angapange qualify akhale awa. You see, as part of risk management. Otherwise, if you just leave it open,
no, I think every member who joins Umunthu is only being paid member. It's not like Zaujen, where it's free entry. But and from what you are saying, we still have problems because some people who don't have money, they will not become members of Umunthu. Like some people who are not, they don't have an income, they can't raise £100, they will not be members. So we'll still have those problems. We'll be dealing with them. And on the family unit, like myself, I've put one brother. The other brother, he will not need any help from any, he's got his own schemes. Okay, so that's why I'm saying the person who comes to pay should have the choice of who they are paying for. Not that we have a constitution which limits to a family unit.
Yeah, I think it goes back to my answer before to say that we are going to review that in our next review session. I mean, that will be one of the things that we're going to look at.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Very well. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
But I can also just add on the cooling off period.
Yeah.
I think it was rightly said because we've seen in other schemes, people only come in because they know the problems is developing, is growing up. So that's when people come to pay. So it's really a balancing act. You really have to balance. It's because some people who pay a year in advance, they are not benefiting, but somebody, because they know somebody is not very well, they might be going anytime, then they come and pay. They get the money, someone who has been paying for 2 years without claiming, their loved one dies, they can't find the money, you also have problems. So I think the cooling off period is a better way of trying to balance off from people who want just to jump in and get the money because the fund is there.
Yeah, as we said, we have a lot of members that have gone with the cooling off period, and I think it will only be fair to include them in our decisions, because they have managed the cooling off period until panopo adakalipo. If you see what I mean, they have had to go through that cooling off period, and we can't just say, okay, cooling off period will not apply to these other people that are joining now. So if anything, it will have to be reviewed if all members are happy with that, because every one of us went through the cooling off period as well. As I said, even some of the founders, they had to go through the cooling off period as well. And
I was one of them.
Yes. Huh?
I was one of them.
Yeah, you were one of the members that were affected.
Yeah,
yes.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good thing as it is, because it stops people who just want to jump in because they have a problem.
Yes.
So in other words, I'm supporting the cooling off period.
Yes, I'm agreeing with you. Yes, yes. Any further questions? So if there are any further questions, do we want to, the chair, can you come with closing remarks?
Sorry, I've got one or two more maybe. So it is cooling off here. I'm still sticking with my story. I'm thinking maybe it might need to get reviewed because to wait for 3 months, if you paid straight away and then to wait for 3 months, still for me, I don't, you know what I mean? That's not sitting right with me. Because I don't know, as I said, food. Because if I know, I can just prepare that myself. So I understand. Because in the same sentence, let's say whatever, which is another thing I have to clarify it. I paid £100, whatever it is, my beneficiaries and whatever. I'm sure if something happens, you probably use my money to do something. Even though I'm still in a 3 months cooling period yet, or you can still use that money for something else. You do the same, I'm sure you're probably doing the same. I'm sure you'll be doing that. So if you can use that to help other people and then bring it back, whatever it is, or how, you know what I mean? Why can I not do the same? I think either reduce the time, which I do agree, as I said, because of how we think is how, so, but we try to punish other people for the same thing, which to me that's more, I say it's a bit, that's from my point of view, that's how I'm thinking.
It's not punishing as such, because if we look at it, correctly, we find that everyone of us has gone through that cooling off period. But it's because we paid way in advance. We paid long time ago, like in October or September. When we were launched, but we were aware that this is the cooling off period, so we have to be, whatever happens, I will not claim, because we know that that is the cooling off period. So if everyone else has gone through that, do you understand? And just see somebody worrying about the cooling off period, why don't you just start now?
No, I understand.
Now, and of course we're going to review
it's something that maybe we might need reviewed. I understand the reasons why you've done it, and I appreciate it. That's another thing. So, anyways, moving on. Next, have you got, when you're saying contributions, you say £100, you pay that, and then on top, £20 for each member, whatever. Is there, like, if I'm taking a life insurance, whatever, which I know you're saying you are not, but you're comparing yourself using a little bit, so I know for a fact in a year I'm paying so much, and I'm you get this percentage, whatever it is. Is there a cap? When I become a member, I pay £100 or whatever it is, and that's almost on a year. That's how much I'm gonna pay, or is it like, okay, well, every now and then you still. So have you got like a number, like a maximum? Okay, for in a year, in a calendar year, 2020 to 1st December 2021 to 31st December 2021, you are paying this as much as this. That's it, as a member, regardless. Or is it something like you can end up sometimes to pay £200 or £300 for whatever it is. Is there a limit for it?
Abdul, do you want to take that?
Yeah, there is no limit on that one. So the contributions based on the number of funerals happening. So if we put the limit, it might not be feasible, because we may say each one pay £50. So we have, let's say, 30 funerals, which means by the end of the year we'll have no money. So yeah, so there's no cap really. So it depends on how many funerals we have in a year. Yeah, I think that's the simplest way.
So this is why I asked, because how did you come up with £100? Because you'll have to, think, okay, if we're gonna give £4,000, as you're saying it, as a for benefit, that means you have to divide that from somewhere. My members, or whatever it is, you have to have that number from somewhere to divide that to come up with that number. And then if Voma top house said £20 guy for whatever it is, that's another, you know what I mean? So you should have, that's what you should have done it. I don't know, maybe that's why you've done it. So in my head, I'm thinking, if I'm paying that, if you're saying £100 is the minimum you can pay, and then you've got this, that means I should be covered, to be honest, I should be covered for that. Zinazo, as come top up, I understand to a point why you should use it, but why are you also going and topping up?
Yeah, I think you didn't get the point from the beginning. We said the £100 is just for security purpose, that the money is there when something happens. So the top up is to make sure that we maintain that £100. So we don't tell you that if you say my beneficiary has passed on. So we don't want to tell you that there's no money now, we need to contribute. So as we said, we're trying to move away from the GoFund scenario that we wait until everyone has paid up. Yeah. So we want to reassure you that the money is there to pay you. So we give the members 30 days to top up their £100. That's where this scheme comes from. So that £100 is mainly for the scheme to have available funds ready when something happens.
And then the £20 then and the top ups. That's what I'm saying. That's why.
No, there's no, 20,
the £20. You don't do it, £20. That is you pay once that one. So the top up of £20, which they said, was based on the money which was paid out. So we paid out about the 3 funerals. So looking at the number who were fully paid members, who were eligible to contribute, that's why that £100 come out. So let's say we were maybe 150, that £20 would have maybe £5 or £3.
So in simple terms, you are paying £100 so that's in a year, or as long as you are a member?
No, that is not a year. When you join.
Yeah.
So the £100 is when you join in for you, and if you have 4 dependents from the UK, you pay £20 each for them, just once. So if you have 2 from Malawi, you pay £10 just once. So you don't pay those annual contribution, those first payments again. Those are just once. What you pay annually is £10 on top of the top up when the funeral happens. So let's say we have the whole this year, we have only 1 person die in the UK, God forbid. Yeah. So which means the contribution you do, the money you top up on your £100 is only for that one funeral. So you don't pay another £100, you don't pay another £20.
Okay.
So it is as it happens.
Yeah, the amount would depend on the number of funerals.
Yeah.
And the number of members at that time. Yeah. So the £100 is just there. Mango dikirira kuti kukachitika maliro. Yeah. So you don't pay anything else. Ngati maliro sachitika pa UK ku Malawi basi no muzingokhala. Tizingokhala tonse. Osalipira so china chilichonse. Tizingolipira £10 ija. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but the rest sitilipira so tikangolipira talipira basi. But only when there's a funeral, that's when we are going to pay from that your £100. Yeah, we'll take money from your £100 from each member. We take money from there, from their £100. Now that's when we are going to ask you, oh, talipiratu maliro ajao. Can you please top up within a month? Like you've got 30 days to top up. Kuti ikaliso ba 100 paja, ikafika ba 100 paja, tikhalanso tikudikira maliro ena. Koma simulipira so china chilichonse apart from maliro akachitika.
Makes sense.
Yeah, palibe kuna kuti kulima 20 pounds kulima chanchani ayi kulibe zimenezo. Tingokhala maliro kwa sachitika, and you know kuti God forbid ku UK kuno maliro sachitika wambayi. Maliro I think nthawi ya COVID ndimene yakhanga yatizunza kwambiri. That's when we have had maliro ambiri. Koma maliro oti ku UK kuno sachitika. So tiyerekeze kuti tili ndi maliro ola awiri ola atatu aku UK kunoko. That's when we are going to take from the 100 pounds, yeah, nkulipira kumene kuchako. Then ndiye tizakupempha kuti abale tachita ndi top up 100 pounds ija kuti ikhale pa 100 pounds. Tisidikira so maliro ena akazachitika. What we were trying to do is to make sure kuti member aliyense, member aliyense atamwalira, there should be money readily available for them. Kuti maliro kayafuna apite ku Malawi, ife tingowapa sandrama. Zoti apange nazo, it's entirely up to them. My next of kin azaona kuti kodi ndrama zimeta ndazi chipange nazo chani. If we have no interest kuna kuti kodi ndrama mpanga nazo chani. Ayi, ife tingotenga 100 because 100 pounds ija munalipita kale. So we just take from that 100 pounds kulipita maliro acha. Ma program azienda. Yeah? So nzona kuti basi inuyo ma members ena tingokhala tidikira kuti chani atipange invoice kuna kuti kodi tilipira zingati kuti tichita top up 100 pounds ija. So in other words, you don't pay anything paka chitika maliro. After we have already paid the payout. Does that make sense?
No, as I said, that's why you're probably doing this so people can understand. So from my understanding before, that's not what I was getting. So
okay,
and makes sense. And thank you.
Good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, we don't pay anything. You don't pay anything. Ma 20 pounds you don't have beneficiary like UK kunoko if you have got my kids chanchan ulipira 20 pounds. But that's a one-off. Suru zalipira so 20 pounds chaka cha mawa chaka chinacho. It will be that one until koma 100 pounds yanu ija ndimene matani magwira ntchito. Yeah. They told.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I've got bare questions, but I don't think we've got time. So
you can find, you can talk to me anytime, and NM founder. We are always available.
Yeah. No, but to be honest, this is actually like really helping and it's helpful. And for what you guys did, for people in diaspora, we can only commend you for for having this initiative. So well done. Keep doing. It's not easy, as you said. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy. And with the time we're going through now, probably going to be a bit harder. But I think together we can. So well done for that. And
thank you very much. And as we said, we'll be reviewing with your comments and your ideas, your thoughts. We'll be accommodating all that, as we review, as we go, we'll be reviewing and we'll make it even much better with your ideas and all that. So as we said, we are a listening team and we are always working with our members and happy to take on any other suggestions and ideas going forward. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you. Zikomo kwambiri, I think, odipatsa nthawi kuti tibwere tikambirane nanu monga mwanenera kuti koyambirira sizimamveka bwino and panopa mwamvetsetsa zomwe ndikuchita. And I just want to encourage you for the next time we are meeting, mukhala mwa members and you simuzatifunsa kuti mukapita mukasinthe izi koma zakhala zoti tikapita tikasinthe izi
tikapita
tonse noti mukapita mukasinthe izi koma no tikakumana tisinthe izi. That's why we need you there. Everyone need to be there, so we change all these things. The constitution was an initial document that we all put together, and to be honest, even as my executive members, we had sometimes personal ideas, personal feelings, what will benefit my family, like Mr. Stinga Nena, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, I'll have a wife. How do you take if I register only my dad and my mom? What about my wife? So those things were there, but we looked at this thing as a community initiative. So we all wanted to be there and support our community. That's what we are. And I think most of us, we live in the communities with Zimbabweans, other people from Africa, Nigerians. We see how organized our friends are when these things happen. Why not us? We can do it, and this is the beginning, and we'll do it better as we move on when we all join hands to change this. So thank you for today, and God bless us. Over to you, Ruth.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. And Ineso ndithokoze kwa founders kuti at short notice tinangwauza kuti hai tabwera ni ujeni weekend ngati mungakwanitse, they managed to come, and at least we have heard for ourselves what it is all about. And I'm so proud of you guys, because it looks like we are the first ones. So we are the first ones to request this, and to have a meeting with the founders, and I think we're doing good. So all I can say that I urge you all to join, because we know what it is like, and together we can make it work. You know, the more, they say, the more the merrier. And also, my dears, chipange fine tune limodzi, because this is something that, and of course there's another one. I understand there's another one in the US, but it doesn't run the same. They don't have the same model. So we in UK, we are the first ones. So let's make it finer so that everybody benefits from this. And thank you very much, my fellow Leeds community. I'm so proud of you. You've made me proud. Thank you. Over to you. I think my founders to Kunza Kupita, and thanks very much for your time. And we'll come back.
Hussein, could you mulibe fuso ino ngoti zibanje?
Pali fuso la ujeni?
Yeah, pali bale wanga ba Hussein, banje suku yankula galisi. Mulibe mafuso?
Yeah, ndibe fuso ningomvetsera.
Thanks. Join, huh?
Yeah, thanks Morgan for inviting me as well.
Oh,
no worries,
good.
Bro, no worries. That's what we do, innit? That's what we do. Well, thanks for coming as well, eh?
Yeah, because Malirama Swiss and the Mudziwa, Akakuti Malirondoti in Damu community, it's very hard, especially in Amakanso Tamakalaoka, Chan.
Yeah.
It's difficult, and we don't always have money in the bank account to say, you know. So let's join this and benefit out of it, and also, help others as a community. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Leeds.